You ever get a text from a girl that just lingers in your mind? Something she said that made your pulse race a little faster, even though you couldn't exactly put your finger on why? Yeah, we've all been there. You're staring at your phone. She sent a text. It's short or maybe it's long, but there's something in it, something behind the words. Maybe she said, "You up," or "Wish you were here," and suddenly your thoughts go racing, not just wondering what she meant, but why it felt so charged. Tonight, I want to unpack that moment, that exact feeling, because psychology has something to say about it. This isn't about pickup lines or playing games. It's not about decoding emojis or reading between the lines just to get lucky. This is about understanding human nature, female psychology, emotional expression, desire, and what she's really telling you without saying it outright. So if you've ever received a text that made you stop in your tracks wondering, is she thinking what I think she's thinking? Then stay with me, because tonight we're going deep, real deep. There's a kind of language that doesn't use punctuation or complete sentences. It's the language of desire. And when a woman wants you, not just likes you, not just finds you attractive, but truly wants you, her texts take on a different kind of energy. You'll feel it. It won't always be graphic, it won't always be obvious, but it will be intentional. And here's where psychology comes in, because studies on communication, especially digital communication, show that what we type isn't always what we mean. But our intentions, our emotions, our excitement, it leaks out through timing, through choice of words, through the rhythm. So what kind of texts give it away? Let's talk about it. Picture this. It's late. Midnight maybe, you haven't spoken in a few hours. And then suddenly, ding, your phone lights up. Her name appears. The message, "Can't sleep." Now, on the surface, that's a pretty innocent text. Harmless, right? But psychology tells a different story. That message, it's an emotional bid. It's vulnerability. It's her softly knocking on your emotional door. Because when someone texts late at night, it's rarely about small talk. That hour belongs to the truth, to honesty, to craving closeness. And if she's thinking about you when she can't sleep, chances are she's thinking about you in a way that's far from casual. And then there are the playful texts, the ones that sound like jokes, but hit differently. You know the ones. "I bet you're trouble," or "Don't make me come over there." Now here's where male psychology sometimes trips us up. We read those texts and we smirk. We play it cool. We assume she's teasing, and she is. But there's a deeper game happening here. That teasing, that's flirtation evolved. It's how desire dresses itself up in humor so it doesn't feel too vulnerable. It's how she tests the water, wondering if you'll swim or sink. Psychologists call this covert communication. It's a way of saying, "I want you," without risking the sting of rejection. And women have mastered it. There's also the proximity play. Texts like, "I was just in your neighborhood," or "Let me know if you're free later." What she's saying isn't always what she means. What she's feeling is, "I want to be near you." And proximity is one of the strongest predictors of intimacy. If she's putting herself in your orbit or inviting you into hers, she's not doing it by accident. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that reading too much into it? But this is where intention matters, because women aren't reckless with this kind of communication, not when it comes to intimacy. If she's sending those messages, and if she's consistent, it's not random. Now, I'm not saying every late-night text is an invitation. I'm not saying every emoji is a sign. That's not what this is about. This is about tuning in. It's about understanding when her communication shifts from friendly to emotionally intimate to physically charged. And here's where it gets really interesting. There's a psychological phenomenon called sexual signaling. It's subtle, it's non-verbal, and in digital form, it shows up through response times, tone changes, and escalation. Let me give you an example. Let's say the conversation starts out normal. She's telling you about her day. But then something changes. The texts get shorter or longer. She asks questions she's never asked before. Things like, do you sleep shirtless? Or, are you a cuddler? That's not small talk. That's proximity talk. That's pre-intimacy dialogue dressed as curiosity. And here's the real clue. It makes you feel something. That flutter, that buzz, that instinct. And more often than not, when she texts something that feels charged, she knows exactly what she's doing. Not because she's being manipulative, but because she's attuned to her own desire. Women are intuitive that way, and when she wants more closeness, more connection, more touch, she'll find a way to tell you, even if it's between the lines. Now, here's a story. There was a guy, we'll call him Chris. He'd been talking to this girl for a few weeks, nothing serious, but then one night she sent a text that simply read, I had a dream about you. That was it, but he couldn't sleep after that. And it wasn't the dream that mattered, it was the fact that she chose to share that, late at night, unprovoked, just out of the blue. That, my friend, is a psychological breadcrumb, a signpost. And Chris, he followed it, he asked, he leaned in, and it turned out she'd been wanting him for weeks, but she didn't know how to say it. So she texted her desire, one message at a time. So here's the truth. When a woman wants you, really wants you, she won't always say it outright. But she'll show you, in tone, in timing, in subtle invitation. And the guys who recognize that, the ones who don't overthink it but also don't miss it, they get it. They get her. They respond with presence, not pressure. Curiosity, not assumption. Respect, but also confidence. Because attraction, real attraction, lives in the space between what's said and what's felt. And that space, that's where the magic happens. So if you're ever wondering if a woman wants more from you, emotionally, physically, intimately, look at her texts. Is she initiating? Is she mirroring your energy? Is she hinting, teasing, drawing you into her orbit? Is she showing up night after night just to be a little closer to you? Because if she is, psychology doesn't lie. Desire speaks its own language. And sometimes it starts with a simple message. You up? Wish you were here. Had a dream about you. And your only job is to hear it, to recognize it, to hold it with care. Because if you play it right, what begins as a text can turn into something unforgettable. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay kind, and always listen to what's really being said. If you felt something in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this, because the next time your phone buzzes, it might just be her way of saying something she can't say out loud. Until next time.